Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. Wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this, welcome to my channel. Alright, so ultimately, right, I'm gonna clear my head just a little bit before I actually get into the cards. With a lot of the different readings, right, that I've been watching on relationships and things of that nature. The first mistake you all are making with the relationship aspect is it's men trying to find a mate for a woman. We're women. We're not little girls. Point blank. In short, mind your business and let us pick our own person because y'all already assigned fucked up people to us. That's the blockage and obstacle that keeps coming into place with everything. I typically try to tell y'all that, but y'all really don't like to listen, and then everything fucks up, and then look at where we are now because you didn't listen. That's what I'll say in regards to that, especially on the romantic aspect and avenue. Uh, yeah, you should just be worried about what you're doing with you and yourself because that whole controlling mechanism uh, is very Old Testament and it's the traditional aspect that makes you all not really pay attention to the fact of there's a whole lot more to it than what you are putting into it. Meaning you're not acknowledging the transcendental spiritual truths that come into place with romance and love. You keep trying to play matchmaker. Uh, some of you may have had that portion go on in your lives, meaning with the higher society aspect, but how many of y'all get divorced and cheat on each other? So yeah, you're not in a position to pick a person for anyone. Let the as they call, yeah, I like the way that it was put. The widow divine feminines. Let us pick our own person because y'all left it up to y'all and y'all fucked up. Like period. So there's that portion. The other part of it is, yeah, because one of the people it was that was kind of coming to me, and I was like, oh my god, really? He's a warlock? Oh my goodness, huh? I should have known. I mean, I did know, but I didn't want it to be that he was interested in me like that. It was a guy, right? His name was Jordan, and it was one of those really. Yeah, cause the entire time of everything that was going on, I had even told him it was one of those. You are too much of the combination of a person I used to text too much, and daughter's my youngest daughter's father. You're acting a little too much like both of them, and I noticed that, and I even told him I see that they keep fetching through your face, right? So I was fully aware of the situation, but I also understand that there's an individual person, and I was going to work with him, through the whole artist development situation, right? And see what went through there because I know I'm not his match. Damn what some older man told you because them motherfuckers is in their 60s and 70s and some of them are trying to be hip and say baby mama, but none of you motherfuckers actually even want a wife. I already put that out into the universe that I'm a wife. I am not nobody baby mama. So the moment that shit slip out of their lips, it's one of those, nope, can't fuck with you. I don't care if it's male or female. So there's that portion. The other portion of it was and is stop trying to the whole setup situation. That's the blockage and obstacle, and you wasting your damn time because anybody you send my way, it's not who I want. I already know who the fuck I want. You don't get the opportunity to tell me that I do and don't want them unless you're looking to control me through that person. So in short, you validating the reason why fuckboy was able to do what he did. You gave him the okay to do that, which makes me understand why it is I shouldn't trust you. I don't trust you and I don't trust your judgment. You're too ego-centered and you want to be able to control what will be going on in my household when your household may need more evaluation. I could tell a lot of you men don't have daughters. I can, because y'all try and do that pimp shit and be like, no, we just got to find you something. No, you don't have to find shit other than a seat of several to have. Y'all found the last batch of fucktards. You don't get to find a new batch of fucktards to waste the fucking life and call it divine timing. That's not what we finna do here. Period. So that's that part. The other portion of it, yeah, because it wasn't expected for any reader to pick up on the love spells that have been done on a continuum and the different areas of love spell. One of the other names it was that kind of came to me because I heard a lawyer. I was like, I only know one lawyer, and that motherfucker ain't never talked to me, and he know that he full of shit, and I would not ever talk to him, ever, ever. He betrayed our people. Hell no. Wesley Bell can have a seat of several. Fuck him and fuck you and fuck no. In short, if they are in my immediate vicinity, y'all are completely out of order. Period. Because, again, you motherfuckers not even taking care of what the fuck Mike Kehoe ass is doing in the goddamn government. Stick to what you good at. And matchmaking ain't fucking it. So that's that part. The other portion of it is, let me hear one more time that I have an attitude because I'm standing up for myself. And you'll see an actual attitude. Because I ain't got one yet. I've been actually very fucking calm throughout this entire 20-year process. I've been very calm. So that's just me. I know if I'm feeling that way, that it's a lot of other feminine essences who may not even necessarily be divine feminines, but who are working towards doing what they're supposed to do. And you keep fucking with us because you think because you can finesse or finagle some shit that everything is going to be okay. Y'all, no, because they pissing me off. At this point, I'm pissed. I always hold rage. I just don't tap into it. Y'all about to make me tap into it. Yeah, because I'm tired of hearing the same damn readings. Every fucking Mercury retrograde, it's the exact same reading. We're trying to find, no, you don't need to find shit other than what the fuck you supposed to be doing. Because a lot of y'all matchmaking is not your life purpose. I can tell by all of the destruction and shit that's been coming to the lives of the women that I've encountered. Remember, you all were in charge and you literally did conflict spells for domestic violence and then at the same time doing love spells. You motherfuckers don't even know when to coordinate according to a goddamn transit. What the fuck it is you supposed to do. So that shit, all of that shit is one of those, oh my God. I'm going to have to take a break from looking over people for a little second. In 3D and in 4D. Because I'm not finna do the back and forth with you bitches. I said no. I don't want none of you motherfuckers doing any matchmaking for Janet Marie 5th degree burns. Don't touch her shit. Don't touch Jacoby Lloyd. Don't touch Karen. No, don't even touch Darnell Lloyd Jr. Don't do shit with neither one of us. You keep your monkey asses wherever the fuck you at. Because every time y'all do this quote unquote matchmaking shit, miraculously it's only demons that y'all can get together. Baby demons. Seriously. And when I say baby demons, I don't mean the part of them being young physically. I'm talking about you dealing with the spirits that are under 500 years old. And you think that they're supposed to be a good match for me. That goes to show you're not tapped in. That's what I'll say. And you're not considering my life purpose because you're trying to guide my life purpose through some dick that ain't even gonna be good. I can see it just by the way the motherfuckers been walking. They don't have no money. They don't have no attachment to spirituality. Not the practices of lighting a fucking candle, setting some intentions. That's not spirituality. You know that. But you want to keep, you know what? They just wasting time. Because ultimately, that's a part of the last spell that was done. And they trying to loop it in to not only waste my time, but to run the clock out. So whatever was supposed to happen won't happen. Mind you, in order to have a love child, in order for there to be a love child, there has to be love there that is beyond the humanitarian perspective. I'm supposed to have compassion and love for everybody. I'm not supposed to have tolerance for your fuck shit. I'm going to need men and women who have mother and father issues, like serious mother and father issues, to stop trying to choose a person for me. Y'all chose my first children's dad. That was my uncle's. My second children's dad. That was my dad. And at this point, you bitches done fucked up twice. You don't get a third chance. And then the community chose the last piece of shit I was with. I wasn't even really with his ass. He drove me fucking crazy. And y'all let him. It's okay. I know what I need to do in that regard. That's all right. No, it just tells me what I need to do. Just know. And when I say just know, I'm not saying it like fucktard used to say it. It's just Just no. Just know. Don't do it. Sit the fuck down somewhere. Let me handle my own life. Because you done fucked it up for too damn long. In any event, the deck it is that I do have out, it's the talk deck. In short, this is some shit y'all know. That's what's kind of fucking with me. And every time it's a day that's called out in the reading or during the reading, that indicates that it wouldn't be something good that will be happening realistically on that day. I'm supposed to be looking for an item or an object on that day. I'm not supposed to be looking for an actual person on that day. Because that's how bad y'all done fuck shit up so many different times. So many different times. There is no way in hell you higher up motherfuckers is going to tell me that y'all didn't know about what the fuck was going on down here. You can't claim that you are intuitive to that capacity. You know what? No, because I just realized that a lot of these motherfuckers didn't even read the Emerald Tablets. They didn't read all of the shit. And when they read it and implemented it as a program like they did with the Bible. That's what it is. They didn't even acknowledge that it was women in Emerald Tablets. That are the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh my goodness. I just need Earth School. Fucking Earth School. Just fucking Earth School. Motherfuckers don't know how to just... Oh, it's not about fucking with me. I just want them to stop. Stop touching shit, period. Just stop touching shit, period. It's like they did, the background check was done for the activities of this lifetime. Not a background check for their past lives and who they were in their past lives. That was the purpose of me doing a damn reading yesterday. You're not paying attention to who those persons were in the past life. If they're in a matchmaking situation in this life, and in the last life, they lost their lover or whatever, what have you, that would be something that would be driving them in this lifetime. Or if they were a warmonger, or if they were like the whole Dexter situation. In short, you trying to put people with individuals just to save your ass after you fucked up with the last batch. I have lost my patience with you all. Stop telling me divine time in my ass, you fucking liar. You bitches is plotting something else. I can already fucking tell. I can feel it in my bones, literally. Oh my goodness. No, I know that because I had already done like several cleansings. And within me doing those past several cleansings, um, I had started like I was able to feel and process the information of those around me, but it didn't cause me any pain. Pain is typically associated with uh, those people who are not only militant, so to speak, but sadomasochists. And that's the other thing. I don't need no fucking sadomasochist trying to match me with somebody. Get some of these motherfuckers up out of my space. Don't put them bitches on my case. Please don't. Please don't. Because neither one of these motherfuckers can really take care of their own spirit, let alone mine. I know what I want. I know what I like. And if y'all keep fucking with me, again, there are two parts to segment. There are two parts to Ka'alima. There are two parts to Izanagi and Izanami. There are two parts to Oshun. That other part is very close to coming out. Extremely close. Because you bitches is fucking with future kids. You trying to fuck with the future generation so that you could create an earth that you think you can control. Oh, they definitely forgot who they was fucking with. Because whether I'm in romantic love or not, that ain't gonna mean shit. Y'all still have it's a damn shame that it's been 10 years of the exact same fucking narrative. And the fact that a person would put that they would put as a petition that they want a particular person to be their twin flame and you bitches accept it. That's the biggest problem. You took away free will choices. You're taking away my free will choice to choose. You're taking away my right to choose for myself. Y'all already fucked that up with Roe v. Wade, right? You already fucked that up. You don't know. I know what I have to do on that side. The priestess. Oh shit. Okay. Knight of Discs, the Tower, Death, Failure, Queen of Cups. Ultimately, what is given is the end of one investing and one being nurturing. That's part of it, and there being movement. That's that part. The other portion of it will be 7 years. Oh no, it would have been 7 years of a person being loving. The tower moment that comes into place with the ending of the situation. Again, this is something that is known. This is the Thoth deck that I'm using, y'all. Y'all know I use this for those people who know about this shit. This ain't some stuff that's not known. Okay? This ain't some stuff that isn't known and it's not, yeah, this is you're very well aware, which means if you're aware that a person wasted someone's time for 7 years, you know they don't have another 7 years, which means you're trying to open another 7-year cycle. Is that what you're trying to do? You trying to open another 7-year cycle with a Scorpio? So that they be able to come in with an offer? Seriously? Now, part of it on the highest vibration, okay, it would be for there to be an investment in one being nurturing and how one is nurturing. On the lowest level is going to be the reality of what it is that will be going on with what you all are doing with the intuitive aspect. Yeah, it's like the whole, it's one of those, I know this person is intuitive, so I'm going to try and flip it. Right? That's try and flip what it is, the flipping portion, especially with this whole Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio aspect of it. With the Cancer portion, it'll be about what is nurtured, right? Everybody like to have two different perspectives on Cancer essence, but Cancers being empathic the way that they are, unfortunately, they take on a lot of the emotions of other people and they act out of them. That's their downfall. That's the reason why Saturn don't give a fuck about how you feel. Okay, it's about what you do. That's that part. The other portion of it with the Pisces, it'll be about the wisdom. Ensure what it is one would have nurtured as far as wisdom within dealing with different people, places, things, and even in the whole death aspect, right? Some of the other portions of it'll be the mediumship, right, and how mediumship would have come into place over the course of 7 years. The other part of it will be in regards to, I heard they can't say, huh? Yeah, they can't. In short, if you haven't actually encountered, because what it's giving is people doing spell work on priestesses, whether this be nuns, because they constitute as priestesses as well, nuns, the women in the church or women of the church, women of God, period, and even women of shadows. They constitute as priestesses as well. That's that part. But what is given is the different seeds it is that would have been planted and what it is that would have wanted to be, what they wanted to see flourish and what they wanted to see grow. The other thing that I'm noticing is that it's 6 cards. So this is like the whole 6 of Cups situation. What it is that will be coming in regards to like that childlike essence. Part of it is trying to think of the best way to say this. Being childlike is not the equivalent of being childish. Because children are very, very smart. And children will tell you if they don't like something right off the bat. That's part of the issue that kind of comes into place with the Cancer portion, because that's like the children who are like, I want to say like 8 or 9. 8 or 9, like 9, between the 8, no, because that's more like Gemini. So between like 9 and 11. 9, 11, 9, 12. 9 and 12, I'll give, because the young adult kicks in with that whole teenager aspect with this Knight of Discs. That kicks in with 14 through realistically 2021. So paying that some attention. In addition to that, what this story is realistically given is when the priestess has to go fight, or when a priestess has to fight, and the destruction that'll come, the death and destruction, yeah, because it's given the 3 fates. Because what I'm seeing is the 3 fates. That's a part of, okay, that could be a part of somebody's past life situation. Yeah, because the 3 fates, the actual bodies get changed out. I want to say every millennia or so. Or every 100 years. I think a millennia, 100 years. No, every century. That's a century. So every century or so. So somebody could have had a past life in that regard as a fate. Or working really closely with them. That's that portion. The other part of it is going to be in regards to the different types of investments that would have come into place with the feeling of love. Right? And what, not only what love feels like, but also what love is and what love is not. Scorpio essence has a tendency to, no, because what it's given is in the whole death aspect, the death, burial, resurrection portions, and all of that. Okay, Christ consciousness realistically is the equivalent more so of a conscious state of mind and making conscious efforts to do things in a particular way. Is not in regards to only a real to a person. That's the biggest portion. And the other part of it is when you're in priestess essence, or you are a priestess to any capacity, you're not only going to have Christ fucking consciousness, you have to have God consciousness. That's how you get to that level. That's that part. The other portion of it would be some of the secrets that would have been kept in regards to a night of money or being about a night of money, right? In short, is yeah. In short, the whole I used to say it a lot. If it ain't about the money, right? If it ain't about the money, right? And the reality of it is it would be about the money. It would be about the stability. I used to say this during my readings so long ago. I feel that it's time for me to say it now. Love makes the world go round, but money pay for the trip. If the only time that you feel that you love somebody is when you ain't got no money, then you don't love them. You're trying to use them. That's the young adult portion or that Virgo essence or even that childlike essence that comes into place with this Virgo Pisces axis. So if you only doing it for, yeah, because it's a lot of people who only do it for the money, but then get mad when a priestess say, "Well, I'm gonna need you to give me some money. Then I'm gonna need you to run me some coins." Don't have a problem with doing it for shadow priestesses, which is something that I really find really odd and ironic. Oh goodness, no, I do find that ironic because you don't have no problem at all. I've noticed this with the way. This is why I say y'all need to chill the fuck out with matchmaking. Whoever the fuck is on the council for that. And I'm not talking about for myself. I'm talking about for these motherfuckers outside of me. You motherfuckers don't need they need to dismantle and disband that council in totality. Cause that's not an angelic aspect that y'all are working in or through. No, it's not even a demonic aspect that they working through. There are a lot of people, their hidden motives and hidden intentions are based out of the investments it is they made. In short, they're being real. What I'm getting from this is the political aspect of it, which would make sense why it was that Wesley Bell did accept all that money because he figured he would be able to be within vicinity of a divine feminine. I cut people like him out of my fucking life a long time ago. I only met him once, and he acts like fuckboy that I used to text too much because the reality is on the side dealings that would have come into place with you, which is the reason why I don't do politics. Y'all suck at them already. Because in the political aspect, there's so many simple fucking solutions to shit. It is. They are really fucking simple. But as soon as a man get mad, and he know how to use legal jargon, not even legal language. He knows how to use or utilize legal jargon. All of a sudden, you motherfuckers is granting him everything. You don't do no bad. Oh well, he know the lingo. That's just like a motherfucker. That's just like the spook that sat by the door, right? In the movie, the spook that sat by the door, because he knew the lingo, because he knew how to interact, right? He was able to take the information back to him. But it's also the equivalent of what it is that's taking place on a continuum with why it is a lot of organizations don't work well is because the people, they'll accept anybody as long as the price is right, whatever that price is or whatever that price may be. But yeah, some of this is going to be about different imprints. This particular deck had been trying to come out for a really long time. Yeah, with imprints, because some of it'll be about past life situations. Others it'll be about when y'all be rubbing your titties and dicks and shit on each other. Others it'll be about tattoos. Others still it'll be about remembering bad contracts that they would have had or different learning experiences, right? And if you're still triggered by it, you didn't learn from it. You didn't learn from it if it's still a triggering mechanism in that regard, right? Yeah, it shouldn't be and the utilization of the word trigger over glimmer, right? Yeah, because sadomasochists, they would in their extreme form, right? Because it's softcore and then it's hardcore for everything, including in the spirituality aspect. Yeah, because what this was given was how there would have been a situation and knowing this is what is known. Or say what you have to. and what it is that would have happened with Mark Twain. Y'all saw what the fuck was going on with Mark Twain, with the Mark Twain building. I know with me. Some of the other visions and things it was that, yeah, because I was interpreting a lot of the shit it was from the people who had passed away at the Mark Twain building. Again, within being a priestess, somebody is supposed to check on you and make sure that you're okay. And when that's not allotted, especially in today's time, you feeling that they have to come to you all the damn time, when you're the one with the, you right, you are the one with the resources, right? You are the one that has whatever, right? But that's why you're more responsible for getting to them than them getting to you. That's that part. The other portion of it, yeah, because in the old, because it's like people pick and choose, y'all picking and choosing y'all traditions. That's what's fucking with me during this reading. Yeah, no, this isn't the whole mutable madness aspect. This isn't my mutable madness. This is why I don't like doing reading sometimes, y'all. It's not my mutable madness. It's the mutable madness in which I have to interpret. Because if you're picking and choosing which traditions to abide by, you get what I'm saying? No, just no. N-O. You don't get to, yeah, if you're gonna respect the tradition of, say for instance, trade and commerce, right? You know you want an item, right? You want an item. This don't have no breath in it. It's not going to bring you no additional fortune. It may be an investment, for over time, right? But it don't eat, sleep. It don't do none of that, right? You'll pay for that item, right? But what you all don't want to do is you don't want to, quote unquote, pay for the person unless you get to own them. And it'd be a lot of, like clothes and stuff like that. You only own it for a short amount of time. Anything, you only own it for a short amount of time before you either have to discard it to upgrade or discard it because you can no longer have it. You can no longer keep up with it. Now, the problem that comes into place with that is people like to take on this mindset that, because even in the tradition of dating, people realistically, that's why they started with the whole sneaky link shit. Being a sneaky link and booty call. It was initially called a booty call. And I'm dating myself when I say that, but it was initially called a booty call. Okay? Alright, and you put more value on how many people you could call just to get some ass, opposed to how many people you can call because, and when I say get some ass, I'm not only talking about sexual essence, I'm talking about some sort of emotional fulfillment so that you can do whatever it is you need to do. Ensure who it is you can deplete so that you can fill up your cup. Mind you, that's another tradition, 3322 when I said that. That's another tradition that's being broken within all of this, within all this shit of not having a masculine essence around, a physical masculine essence, having to be your own masculine essence. But so ultimately, the other portion, I was just going to say, keeping it to oneself about what the teenage situations would have been, and that being the tower moment of what would have taken place in Scorpio essence and Pluto. Now, two of the, I'm hearing Saturn and Pluto. That's part of the reason why I started off with saying, in this Queen of Cups aspect, Saturn don't give a fuck about how you feel. Karma don't care how you feel. It's about what you do. On a very regular basis, I feel like I want to fuck a lot of people up. I want to go to their houses and I want to blow their shit apart. Regardless of who's in it. That's how I feel. But what I do is I calm myself and I do a healing ritual on myself so that I can go and do the actual higher portion. I don't get karma for what I'm feeling like doing. I get karma for what I actually do. Because you people like to put people in a really dark headspace. A huge headspace. So there being the imprint of, or the air, AIR, of conflict and judgment within one not having movement. And there's ships not coming in. Yeah, this is about the incoming movement, right? Yeah, and it's gonna be about the conflict of judgment. On this conflict, and that's the other reason why this card was coming up in regards to or not this card, this deck, because the judgment card on here, right? Yeah, it has the devil and it has angels on it, or it has a demon and angels. The depiction that you all constitute, I will say that, as an angel and a demon, because realistically, if you really saw what they look like, they don't look shit like what you think. Trust me. Yeah, I was like, man, these people, they just don't know. The other portion of it is there being 5 weeks of judgments for one not having movement. That's that part. And the conflict that comes with a judgment, or with being judged. And one 6 days ago. And it being an emotional manipulation. In short, pay attention to there's a difference between making an observation, drawing a conclusion, and making a judgment. When you make an observation, you just make a note of something. Like, making an observation is the equivalent of saying, oh, okay, that car is red. That's an observation, right? Making a conclusion is, oh, that car is red and it's a Mustang, right? Making a judgment is, it's a red Mustang, so it has to be fast. Right? Now, we didn't say what year the Mustang was. We didn't say what the engine was like. We didn't go over the previous owners or none of that. That's what's required for a judgment. In short, you need to research before you make certain judgments. Yeah, because whoever it was that called themselves trying to do some shit for me, it was like, bitch, you didn't pay attention worth a damn. And you keep coming up with excuse after fucking excuse after excuse after you done wasted so much of my fucking time. You participated in wasting my time. That's the other blockage that's going to keep coming into place. Y'all got the wrong people trying to fix some shit. You're not, if you had any parts in breaking it, you cannot fix it. You were part of the problem, not the solution. Get somebody else. And the somebody else that's perfect for it is the actual person who has to endure it, not you. That's that part. The other portion of it is, because I'm not even finna lie to y'all. I do have an additional factor with having an attitude. I just saw that you're not supposed to be able to get a divorce because you pregnant. Bitch, please. These motherfuckers is out here fucking multiple women and that baby can be born. No, because it's the same argument with Roe v. Wade. Taking away the right to choose means that you're giving permission to those abusive people to go out and rape a person just because they feel like my bloodline in danger. Oh my God. We not gonna be able to have no more kids with our bloodline in it. Bitch, you don't need to have no more kids with your bloodline in it. Take the transcendental spiritual truth behind it, child. You ain't shit. You continuously make poor choices and you misuse and misappropriate God's grace and mercy. You don't need nobody else around like that. You haven't even fixed it. That's part 1. Part 2, they didn't even want to try to fix it. Part 3, a woman ain't gonna want to get a divorce just because well, no, that's not true. Let me stop. I was about to say a woman ain't gonna get a divorce just because the man ain't got no money, but that's not true. That is not true. That is not true. Because by right, he's not supposed to even be with a woman at that point. He has a whole bunch of bad investments. That's that part. And it's giving acrimony. That's what this is giving. Okay. That's what the essence is giving. It's giving the whole acrimony. Yeah, whoever or whatever it is that will be going on. The other portion of it is, can it apply to? Well, definitely Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn rising. Virgo, most certainly. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. One of the other things is the mixture of earth and water. A lot of people always because water, depending on how hard or soft the soil is. Sand does consist, it is consistent with soil. Okay? It's that part. The other thing is, within a lot of different situations, right? I heard go ahead and say what you have to. Yeah, because when I can't speak from other people's experiences, but obviously these have something to do with it. I first and foremost, I don't have a car. And the reason why I don't have a car is because car crash spells were done on me. And thankfully, because of the rooms it was that I had in my car, I wasn't on the highway when my car stopped. I was in a safe space. And I just had to trade it out. Part one. Part two. When it comes to, because it's like people only paying attention to that one part of, well, no, I wasn't able to be there. Bitch, the phone works. And if you didn't utilize the phone when you had that access, that don't mean that you get the access again. That's how the cycles start. And on top of that, it'll be the tower aspect that comes into place when a person has been dying for 7 years. Or some stuff has been ending for 7 years. In short, because right now we're in 2026. Everybody was supposedly, and I say supposedly, quote unquote, awakened in 2012. The reality of it is that wave of people woke up in 2012. There's been waves on a continuum. Part one, part two. Yeah, if you do the fucking if you would have done the actual research and study. This is how I know whoever these people are, whoever these matchmakers are that's supposed to be doing it for the feminine collective that is available. Y'all don't know shit. You really fucking don't. Because you don't even know the bloodlines and what would be customary. By right, especially if you're dealing with Romani, any person with Romani blood in them, any person with Egyptian blood in them, is based out of maternal archetype. It is not based out of paternal. You're trying to bring a patriarchal ideal set and control system to maternally and matriarchally led thought patterns, thought processes, and application. In short, you're not even doing your fucking job right. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. You're not doing your job right. The blueprint that you set before us as in this whole imprint of judgment was that it's continuous conflict in a relationship. That was the blueprint that you created. That's what you constituted as love. And it's based out of love spells that were done and what was implemented based off of different ethnicities. Okay? During Willie Lynch. You bitches still ain't read that, have you? I know y'all haven't. I know you haven't because you still touching shit. And you need to just sit your ass down somewhere and shut the fuck up. Anyway, the other portion of it, conflict and the shifting and how it is one would shift. Yeah, because now I'm finna put this in a higher. If I stay in this, I will chew you motherfuckers up and spit you bitches out with no problem at all. If I keep it in this vibration, I will. It will not be good. I'm going to vibrate higher. I did tell him to stop touching shit years ago, and it was 44:33 when I heard that. I did tell him that. Because when you are doing conflict spells, you're doing love spells, you doing all this other shit on a healer, you are intentionally setting yourself up for failure later on down the line because you don't want them to heal. You don't, and when I say you don't want them to heal, it's not even necessarily about them healing themselves. You don't want them to heal other people either. You don't even want them to heal you. Ultimately, is what that boils down to. Especially in this tower moment of there being deaths and all this other shit. It's because you didn't even want to heal you. You wanted to stay caught up in that bullshit. And the reality is, then you'll turn around and you'll get mad. You'll get mad. You'll feel some type of way. To the umpteenth power. Because we'll be like, you don't want to heal. That's your free will choice. I'm not going to force you. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to help a person that actually wants to do the healing work. Who actually doesn't mind writing in a fucking journal. Grimoires or journals, you idiots. For somebody else shit. Not even, yeah, so following they shit, that's what worked for them. That shit ain't gonna work for you. Just because you got it? No. Oh my God. They don't even know how to use books right. Damn humans. Damn humans. Somebody getting fucked up now. They should be, because you're a lesser being, intentional lesser being, which when I'm saying a lesser being, I mean it. You intentionally deny DNA activations, healing, and informational resources. So you're intentionally a lesser being. Trying to control a higher being or a higher order thinker or somebody who's, as I like to call them, the hot ones. You're trying to control somebody who hot and you don't even understand what temperature is. You're trying to check somebody's temperature and you can barely fucking spell it. In any language. Because some people are more acclimated, and I've said this several times. A lot of people like to say, oh, this person is dyslexic or that person is dyslexic. No, check what their heritage is, because they may be better acclimated to a different language. And if they're like third or fourth generation, anything, especially in a different country, they're not dyslexic. Their brain isn't hardwired for it. Y'all be so quick to give a motherfucking label. I swear. Then y'all wonder why I don't want shit to do. You know what? Ooh. 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 It's got to be something better. It's got to be. As a matter of fact, not it's got to be. I know it's something better. I just have to say. I just have to tell y'all. Yeah, cause y'all fucking up. And Three of Pentacles in reverse. The way I typically will read this will be about, not expanding. Right? But this is giving how a person wouldn't even commit in a situation. If a person can't even commit in a situation, what makes you think the Hermit, overall essence, looking inside oneself. But if a person is, because what this is giving is how some of the matchmaking situations for the priestesses, you're not even committed. You want them to be in situationships. Y'all watch Sparta, 300. Y'all watched a lot of and even the Iliad and the Odyssey. That's the reason why they're not committed to giving us people who are decent. Yeah, this isn't, in short, I know where to hold a person accountable. That's the biggest issue. I know who to hold accountable for what. And in that regard, that last batch of so-called quote-unquote divine masculines, they not the ones who are to be held accountable. Somebody chose their asses to implement another system with this quote-unquote bullshit they call twin flames. because they got tired of people actually finding love and shit through the soulmate connection. And what they're trying to do is implement what would have been constituted as the soul flame. Oh, your twin, yeah, because it was advertised on an energetic level. Oh, your twin flame isn't acting right. You can get a soul flame. Ain't nobody got time for none of that shit. A bitch just want to be happy with another person. Like, yeah, we just want to be happy outside of ourselves all the time. Not because we don't like, not because we don't like ourselves, but because it's a part of the human experience, part one. Part two, it's a part of the soul experience. And I know if it didn't happen to nobody else, I definitely know it happened to me. A lot of people fucked up a lot of the shit it is that I was supposed to have right now. Right now. And you keep saying, no, you know, baby girl. Yeah, because what it be sounding like is, baby girl, you know, we got to make sure that we got the right man to make you happy. Shut your bitch ass up. Put some bass in your voice when you talk to me. Let your nuts drop. No, you trying to control this. Yeah, because they were a lot more aware. In short, you misread and you misdiagnosed what a divine feminine is, because initially divine feminines were based off of appearances only. If you're going to talk about what's real and really put the judgments out there, let's talk about what's real and what you really did. It was based out of how a person looked on the outside, not on the inside. It's because a lot of us had to be like, you know what? I'm going to just get in my healer bag. And I heard they weren't healthy. No, they weren't healthy. Like at all. I know a lot of skinny people who have more diseases in them. High blood pressure, that's hypertension. High blood pressure, hypoglycemic, diabetic, and realistically, their organs are more compacted with fat than I know people who are of a more sturdy size. And if you all didn't pay attention, even in the athleticism, taking steroids makes you unhealthy. It fucks with your bone density. That's part of the reason why I personally don't like having to take asthma medicine very much. Because it has steroids in it. And then there's that whole roid rage. Nobody wants to talk about the medications, though, that a person would take that'll fuck them up and make them unhealthy. And that y'all keep pushing and diagnosing. Oh, you have seasonal depression. No, I'm gonna make one up because Abilify is one that's coming to me, but it wouldn't necessarily even be just that. But even in that, and you subjected to liver damage, kidney failure, one of your lungs might come through your nipple, your brain leaks through your eye, and then the stuff that's in your brain stem, it starts coming out your fucking ears, all because you don't want to be like, you know what? No, I don't think I really need to fuck with that person. In short, in the situation, with the judgments that comes into place with the situations that would have come into place, part one, and with how it is one would shift their inspiration, change their inspiration. No, because I just heard graceful judgments, but even because the thing is, people have become so accustomed to judgments being issued in the way that I'm speaking right now. They are not used to judgments being issued when you're talking like this and you really want to be able to effectively communicate without degrading or being belligerent. They see this voice as condescending. But this voice is very well okay. You can say whatever the fuck you want to in this voice, and it's acceptable. Because that's how you people like to interact with people. You like being on that extra dumb shit and fucking up your lungs and shit. All because when you was a baby, you didn't get held enough. So you cry all the damn time and you whining all the damn time now. Opposed to learning how to soothe yourself within healing your inner child. And knowing that it's okay for you to be taken just as seriously when you're utilizing this voice and taking this posture as it is when you're using this voice and taking this posture. When I said what I said what I said in this voice. And I meant it just as much in this voice. And then y'all wonder why the mob and the mafia kisses a person before they kill them. They teaching you bitches, you should have been nicer, you should have been gentler, you should have, in short, don't be sorry, ho. Be careful. Because if I have to raise my voice, it's too late. And then y'all want to say, oh my God, that is so gangster. That is not gangster. Damn near feeling like I want to have a heart attack. So you think almost killing your damn self every fucking time because a person won't listen to you, that's gangster? That's not smart. I'm not dying for anyone. I will live for you. I will gladly live for my people. But I'm not dying for neither one of you bitches. Fuck y'all. You're not worth my death. Get the fuck on some goddamn work. You were at one point worth time in my life. You're not now. And that's how you wanted it. That's not how I wanted it. Backstreet Boys and shit. No, because that'll be talking about some of us who had to deal with the down low situation. Now, part of, because a lot of I don't know about anybody else, but I can definitely speak for myself. With sexuality is fluid, right? Meaning you like what you like. Can't nobody really judge you for what you like. If you in love with a woman and you have a tendency to fuck around with men every now and again, okay, that's a discussion that since that's what you doing, you should be able to stand on that shit and be like, yeah, I'm in love with this person and we do what we do, but I also have this side of me. Not because it's giving some of the lessons that would have been supposedly implemented in Sodom and Gomorrah. It's 2026. It's 26. And you bitches is still disappointment. Yeah, that's definitely what I am. But that's definitely what I'm feeling right now. In Mercury retrograde, it's always filled with a lot of disappointment. It is. Yeah, no, that's the reason why when a person's essence changes, I be kind of like, why are y'all tripping? Yeah, because I didn't understand why was so many people was tripping with me in real life. It was like, okay, I'm a conduit. You know how I am with people on a regular basis, and you know that I read energy. In addition to that, somebody, whoever it is, you need to pay attention to your sugar intake, meaning you might be diabetic, because low blood sugar does have a tendency to have its effect on your behavior or any person's behavior, realistically. Another one, no, I don't have diabetes or anything like that, thank God. And it being a family situation, right? I don't have diabetes. I probably, at this point, I probably do have high blood pressure, but I haven't had any issues with none of that stuff. Thankfully, even though it's a part of, my family tree and family heritage. That's that part. The other portion of it is, because people like to check it. Y'all not, in short, y'all not doing a spiritual background check. Right. Y'all not. Y'all really not. Y'all fucking up. You 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 fucking up. No, because school dance. That's what it'll be. Yeah, that's the movie. It's School Dance that's really coming into place with a lot of stuff. We are in that time frame, right? This is part of the reason why it's really, why popular culture, that's the other portion that's coming into place with this. The influences of popular culture. Now, one of the things is that definitely, because we haven't heard anything about what's going on with the planet Pluto. We haven't heard anything about what's going on with that. So it's that part. Again, when you're watching these readings, yeah, that's why I encourage everybody to make sure you know what you're watching it for. Because if you don't know what you're watching this reading for, me yelling and stuff, yeah, because to one person, for instance, to the band major, right? Yeah, I've worked with a lot. I've worked with musicians, and sure, a part might be too loud. They may have crescendoed when they needed to. Yeah, when they needed to. I think it's called forte. That's also a part of transcendental spiritual truths. Knowing that a person has more information than what it is that they're supposed to pour into this. Yeah, because it's like people want me to just pour everything it is I know into one reading. And that's unfair, part one, because you not finna suck all of that essence out of me. You didn't even study it. Credible source or not, you're always supposed to fact check. And part two, because you bitches don't like to pay nobody. You're very selfish and very self-centered in the most debilitating ways. You want everything to be given to you freely, but you have a price on what you give. I'm gonna need you to do better. I'm gonna need you to do better. Because after helping a person for 7 years and it's a bad investment, that would be the equivalent of Bill Gates invested his entire fortune into the current state of emergency we have in America. That's the equivalent of him giving the money to Donald Trump. Ain't shit got better. Everything is worse. And you're making priestesses, earth angels, priests, let me see who else, star seeds. Because just because you're an earth angel may not necessarily mean that you're a star seed. And just because you're a demon doesn't mean that you wouldn't be a star seed. They demonize what they don't know. That'd be the reason why I'd be like, you know what? I'm not finna listen to none of these fucking titles. Because I know everybody don't have the same perspective as I do. Overall essence is Knight of Swords reverse. In short, the Dark Knight. For some people, I'll go ahead and say, for some people, this is going to be about the Dark Night of the Soul and what it was that they were seeing and saying. And what they didn't rush in to receive clarity on. The imprint of them not having clarity on things. Or not even attempting clarity on things. And, yeah, no, because some of this is going to be about the whole knowledge of thought. Thought travels faster than the speed of light. No, because I want to say thought is like 0.0023 and light is 0.016 or some shit. Don't quote me on those, okay? Because right now, I'm just trying to get through this reading. Because because the masculine essences, if y'all in my energy, you know you're not welcome in my energy. Because you was the motherfucker who picked the last bitch I had to deal with. You didn't even know about them until I told you. How you gonna be a matchmaker and I'm the one telling you about balancing divine masculine and feminine essence? I was the one who made that fucking discovery and put it on Facebook. And you trying to match me with somebody. Get the fuck out of here. You're not capable. In any form. I don't have a contract with you for you to do that. You don't have permission from me because, like it or not, you need my permission to match me with somebody, and I didn't give you that permission. I know what I like. I know what I'm supposed to be with. I know what I want. I don't need you to tell me. You told me to want a minister, and he got married to somebody else and left me with 2 children by myself. Then you told me that I should be with a real thuggish Negro. And he cheated on me, pissed in my house, burned the bitch down, and took all the little money I had. Then you motherfuckers matched me with a motherfucker who was so damn emotionally unstable to the fact where he couldn't even speak. And he had to think that it was better for him to cast spells and shit. Mind you, I was going over speech therapy with his ass while he was in fucking New York. In short, you've been sending me people to heal who ain't paying me for my services to no capacity. I'm not even getting respect from these motherfuckers. And you think I'm supposed to No. 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 I know who I want. And if I don't get what the fuck I want, it's gonna be trouble. Trouble. It's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble. Because patience is limited. Patience is very much so limited. And I have reached mine. I have enough patience, meaning people that I would have to help heal and treat and do stuff for, to where I'm allotted not to have patience with your bullshit. I'm trying to find, quote unquote, find somebody to help me. You did a piss poor job of it beforehand. You're not allowed to do it now. No. You didn't give me what I wanted. You did that dumbass Cynthia shit. No, don't give her what she wants. She'll come to you if you don't give her what she wants. Bullshit. That shit backfired on you motherfuckers a lot, didn't it? And that was before divine intervention was put into place. That's the difference. Mind you, I'm the divine intervention. I said that several times over the course of the past 4 years. And y'all just wanted to... Yeah, because whoever these matchmakers were, they let these motherfuckers come up against me. They were a part of the plans. Influence of wish fulfillment. No, in the contract portion. I'm in Murder of Crows right now. Some of this is going to be about spiritual contracts. Some of this is going to be about physical contracts. In order to do what you're supposed to do, you don't have to have a spiritual contract with that person. Yeah, not everybody, every person that you pass by in your lifetime, you don't have a spiritual contract with them. That's part of the reason why you don't have a spirit. Does the tree have a spiritual contract with leaves? Really sit and think about that. No, it doesn't. It does not. Damn, it's another tower moment of what jealousy is. I'll do the alchemical aspects for this, but of what jealousy is, the tower moment of one's impulses in regards to one's ships not coming in. Yeah, and sure. Now, part of this is, for some people, the ships not coming in, right, would be about different networking connections in people. That's one. The other one Heard you not on the same timeline. I'm not, whether a person's on the same timeline or not is irrelevant because you're still going according to the same blueprint from the old timeline. You're still doing shit according to the old way, opposed to doing it according to the new way. And then want to play that damn Usher song, My Way. The fuck? God, you people. Yeah, y'all have done feminine essence over millennia. So wrong. So dirty. And then y'all think that you're supposed to still have control over it. There's nothing prophetic about it. Y'all don't even like calling women prophets. Remember? Y'all only went according to Jesus's bloodline, but it was Mary who was chosen. So you should have included Mary. And I know I'm not the only woman who said that in the public. Was I one of the first? Probably not even one of the first, but I agreed with it, damn me, 10, 15 years ago. And was speaking about it then. In real life. And doing the work to back up what it is that I was saying. A lot of people are not, or they're doing energetic work on people, but they're not anchoring nothing good. Doing a love spell and then encountering the person that you are to be with and having a fight with them or bringing another woman around them, that's what you call love. And you mother, I won't even give you the satisfaction of calling you a motherfucker. Overall essence within ending cycles and reconciliation. And what constitutes as reconciliation? Yeah, because when you're a peaceful person, in short, when I say feminine essence, I'm not talking about men and women. Because I feel like I have to say that. I really feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but I do. I'm talking about the feeling portion. Because some of the divine feminines weren't embodied as women. They were embodied as men. Thus the reason in the vibrational settings and raising vibrations, it's not only going to be about what constitutes as quote unquote heterosexual relationships. Raising vibrations is, according to the Aramaic teachings, okay? I'm not talking about the Bible teachings. I'm talking about Aramaic, what Jesus was actually saying, okay? It's not according to just sexual encounter. And that's all you motherfuckers keep putting out here. And then you wonder why you have people who identify as asexual. And I have told you multiple times what I like. I like money. And typically, the person who would be carrying it, their vibration is attached to it. You want everybody to detach from what they have so that you can have it, but you don't want to reciprocate. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is your problem? Heard you watched a lot of old gangster movies, don't you? To be honest with you, I watch a lot. Yes, short answer. And I've watched a lot of Columbo, Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Criminal Intent. I've watched a lot of everything because it was easier to watch that shit than to deal with some of these fucking humans who enjoy chaos and messy shit because they don't want to do something as simple as clean their fucking house. But then you want to give them the label of being, yeah, they want to give them the label of, oh, you know, they going through depression. That bitch ain't going through depression. It's mold that's growing over in her motherfucking, in the corner of her shit. And she don't want to get up and put a little bit of bleach on it. To kill them shits. Queen of Swords overall essence. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Her Queen of Swords energy. Queen of Swords, you want to know what the thing is about being in Queen of Swords essence? Being in Queen of Swords essence does not mean that you always have to pop off and raise your voice and be rude and all of that. No, it's about being direct and speaking what the truth is. That's what Queen of Swords essence is. And a lot of people only like to give that credit to Gemini, Libras, and Aquariuses. There, in reality, I've only met quite a few Gemini, Libras, and Aquariuses, sun signs that were born under that sign, who are actually functioning in being direct in what the truth of a situation is. That's why I don't like doing what they call it. That's why I don't like calling out signs too much. Because there are some, because in Cancer essences, it'll be about what they nurtured as to be true. In short, a Cancer essence and a Queen of Swords would be judgmental because they'll say, or not judgmental, they'll have their prejudices automatically attached to it. And it's one of those, oh, well, I don't like that. It's one of those, okay, but it's not for you to like. That automatically institutes that you think you can control what another person does. That's why I personally, when it comes to this type of energy and having to say, I'm like, I don't want to have to say nothing. Because these motherfuckers already don't listen. These people don't listen. They don't listen worth a damn. They keep wanting to play a whole bunch of damn games and all this other shit. Yeah, because they want the back and forth. That's that Virgo essence. They don't know how to discuss something. Because in discussion and with discussion topics, when you are capable of explaining something down to the lowest form so that it's easily understood, right? When, for instance, when I explain something, I explain it on at least 3 different levels. The first one is the higher order thinking. The second would be according to higher order thinking, but hood term, right? Because the reality is, just because a person isn't educated in the traditional setting doesn't mean that they don't have an education. It just means it's not in the traditional setting. And then the last way that I explain something as is if I'm speaking to a 5-year-old. Okay? Meaning I break it all the way down. The problem that comes into place with that is a person's insecurities because they would need for it to be broken down as if they are being spoken to as a 5-year-old. If you're an adult, you shouldn't have a problem with just saying, you know what, I need you to break that down for me a little bit more. And there shouldn't be jealousy associated with it. Yeah, that's the problem I had with Umar Johnson and all of them. It's one of those, you'll take guidance and instruction from a child. But when a woman that's the exact same age as you says the exact same thing, you got a fucking problem. If you don't sit your ass down, hand your dick over, sir. You don't need it. You don't need it. What are you using it for? You're using it to abuse people. Because you like that type of sexual essence, which is fine, but don't get mad when you're associated as a sadomasochist. The hardcore portion. In short, y'all, Y'all saying y'all not even having sex right. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. But the other portion of it that comes into place with the contractual portion, whether this be spiritual or whatever, what have you, right, is the egotism that comes with the egotism over a month, right? Egotism over a month, one not being victorious for a month, or one not being victorious with loving themselves. That's one part. The other portion of it would be the investigations of what it is to love oneself. And then there not being reciprocation, there not being expansion, and one not being heartbroken. That's part one. Part two. Yeah, because what it is, you want a person to just give out their essence freely. And it's one of those, yeah, it don't matter how many different, no, because in some of this is depicting that it would have been some spell work that would have been done that would indicate for a person to be egotistical because somebody else is, say what you have to, because somebody else would be, it's been more, I'm not the only person that's been picked up on this though. If a person is, fuck it, if they jacking off and they thinking about you and then you pop up and you doing a reading, that's one of them. The other one, yeah, and that's the reason why a lot of the messages and shit get distorted, which is fine. But what it is that would be being released is what's being read. Part one. Part two. In this whole investigation portion, yeah, in a month of investigations, one of the things that is said clearly across any situation, 72 hours. You get the most information from a situation within the first 72 hours. So if you ask all of the questions in that first 72 hours, you'll be okay. The other thing that I'm really kind of getting from this is it would have been some stuff from 3 years ago. There would have been a conflict that would have come up. And a person really wouldn't have been heartbroken by it. But shot. Okay, and some people being shot and stuff. Okay, so if this is for the investigator, yeah, this is the whole police thing. Okay, if this is for the police thing, some of this stuff you need to look into the actual. I'm hearing numbers that are on the residents. Certain numbers on residences invoke certain actions in a person. Okay, so be mindful of that. The other thing within residences, yeah, like how you get some people who have been incarcerated, or who, and when I say incarcerated, I don't only mean in jail. I mean like who've been isolated a lot. They'll prefer to be like in the basement. Yeah, and that's why you have to understand what inner earth is. Because the soil content and the information is a whole lot different. And those persons, they typically like going underground or being underground because it's more sufficient to them being able to maintain a stabilizing thought process. Water runs underground, for crying out loud. When you get a well, when a well is being made, they dig in the ground until they get to the water. I can't wait for Mercury to get out the microwave. Yeah, because what it's giving is that individuals would be intelligent, supposedly, or have a higher degree and level of intelligence outside of Mercury retrograde. And Jupiter just went direct. So, yeah, so I'm not really understanding how it is so many people got to be at the ages that they are. And yeah, because as a child in the formative years, you are taught etiquette and interactions. with people. Now that included but not limited to people you like versus people you don't like. And you really shouldn't be shaded or jaded because a person don't like you. Yeah, that's just not it. It's too many other people that even hold a possibility that they would like you, and here's the deal: why would you mad at a person not liking you? Yeah, because this is obviously it has to do with some sort of investigation. Why would you be mad that a person doesn't like you when you don't like them? You don't even fucking like them. Why do they have to like you when you don't even fucking like them? No, there's no way you can even make that make sense. Because there is no sensibility behind it. Especially when you're talking about on the empathic nature. Oh my God. But in some of this, right? Yeah, because a lot of this will be about some of the egotisms that would have come within a person loving themselves, and the egotism that comes in the spirit of making an offer or the spirit of love. And then the other portion of it will be in the alchemicalization of it. It'll be about the incoming victories with reciprocation and there being expansion of emotional intelligence. A lot of people, yeah, I don't necessarily read this Three of Swords reverse always as being heartbroken, because in this spread, it's not given being heartbroken. It's given about a person not knowing how they feel. I don't know about you, but I don't want no indecisive motherfucker trying to decide shit for me. You don't even know which way you want to put your fucking shoes on in the morning, and you think I'm supposed to want you to determine what investments I'm supposed to like, or try to pass a judgment on me because you owe me money? And you trying to get the fuck up out of it? It's the same damn principle that comes into place with any type of governmental assistance. Period. You owe reparations. You using that money to go fight somebody else. Then you trying to destiny swap, so you think you don't still owe that debt. You still owe that debt. I don't give a fuck how much you try to put this shit off. Hell, student loans will let you know that shit. That's part of the fucking loop that they caught my ass up in. Thinking that no. Explain. Because my student loans have been cleared, forgiven completely, no problems. Then because I wanted to be a nurse on paper, not a nurse as a person. I'm already a nurse as a person and in practice, but because I wanted there, yes, I went to school. And while I was at school at Grand Canyon University, Bob Green, that fucktard, wanted to challenge me on every damn thing I was saying. Negro, I got the damn answers to the questions right, and I did the work. Just give me my fucking A so I can get up out this bitch. And then because he couldn't connect to me energetically any longer, and yes, they know about me in Arizona because I was interviewed by a young woman at a school in Arizona, and she did a full project on my ass. During the time of the pandemic from I want to say it was late 2020, 2021. In short, don't think I don't know what I got going on. I know what I got going on. You obviously don't respect it because you keep trying to put me with fucking idiots, and you don't want me to, you don't want to just acknowledge, okay, she can make her own choices in everything. She don't need my help because you're not going to get blessed with helping me with finding somebody. I already know what I like. I already know who I like, and I don't have to fucking tell you. That's my business. Mind your business. Yeah, because I got to do these other fucking healing rituals and people doing all this dumb shit. It's very distracting. You're distracting me from my life purpose with your fuck shit. By not giving me what the fuck it is I told you I wanted. You're distracting me from my life purpose. So if shit backfire on you, good. Because you fucking up. Now, in the vibrational portion, right, of finances, right? Yeah, because I need to get off of this. I'll do the finances portion and then I'll do the politics portion. In the finances portion, it'll be about an investment into, an investment that one would have been grandfathered into. That also goes for the technological aspect. It'll be about being grandfathered in, and some people are so sensitive to where they can feel everything all the time. And they just know how to regulate their receptors. Part one. Part two. Yeah, because that's where you get the mirroring aspect. Like, say for instance, a person would have invested $70 and the gambling. Oh, gambling is a really good one. You would have put $70 in this slot machine, but you only won 20. So that's, yeah. So as a return on investment, as a return on that investment, you didn't even profit, but you had a loss of, I want to say like 70%, something like that. Yeah, I'm throwing the numbers out there to give you a roundabout estimate because I'm not going to calculate it directly down. You're not, no. So that's that part. The other portion on the political aspect, you have the Seventh Amendment. Yeah, because trying to regulate a woman's body is a violation of the First Amendment. It is. I don't give a fuck how many different addendums you have or arbitrations you have. You motherfuckers has been breaking that Bill of Rights. Y'all been breaking that motherfucker left and right. I don't care whether it's the Bill of Rights or what's constituted as the extended Bill of Rights that includes women's rights. Why the fuck do you and the reality is you're breaking human rights. And don't get me started on spiritual law. Oh God. Oh God. So there's that portion. But it would be known for a fact that it's the Seventh Amendment in regards to the way that it was applied. Then it would also be the imprint of the Third Amendment. Yeah, trying to bypass some things that would be going on with the Third Amendment because it would be in conflict, and the reality of things being on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, if we're talking about like Supreme Court shit, I did see that with Ketanji Brown Jackson and Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh is only doing it because she's a black woman. He only he's stalemating with her because she's a black woman. He's not stalemating with her because she's wrong. Yeah, that's the truth of it. Which means Kavanaugh needs to get his bitch ass up out of there. Because at the end of the day, the people don't even want this shit that's going on. The people didn't want a war. Congress did. And Congress in totality didn't want it. You had too many bitch ass Republicans and conservative Democrats because they wouldn't stand up for future generations. You got put in Congress to stand up for future generations and to protect everybody, not to protect your own interests. Thus the issue with donating to any politician, because now it's automatically associated that they have to include that person's interests. Now, that's that portion. Now, the other part of this, right? Yeah, on the technological aspect, it'll be about the motherboard that you need to pay attention to. That also goes for the spiritual aspect. The motherboard and different Now, because I'm seeing one and it's some shit that's out of sync in the motherboard. In short, whoever it was that hooked the motherfucker up didn't even hook it up right. Go watch Hidden Figures. If you really need an explanation on shit, go watch Hidden Figures. That would give you a lot of insight on a lot of different things. Because a machine is a machine and it's based out of what the user does or what the user wants. It's not based out of what the user inputs the information, right? And the machine does what the user puts in there. So, yeah, that's the reason why you got all of these different technological companies who have to pay now, because they're the initial user of the machine. That's the thing that everybody keep fucking up with. Oh no, you're a user of Instagram. Yeah, well, so is the actual person who put the information or created the system. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and spell work can be done on them. That was how different realities have been created over lifetimes, period. There was a shaman that was assigned to it. Read Emerald Tablets, and that's based out of what that shaman or that deity put into it. That's what they wanted to get out. And you're always considered a bug, a glitch, or whatever when you upgrade the system as just a quote unquote player in the system, but you make the system have to upgrade. In short, the earth angels, hell, the earth demons, star seeds, it wasn't programmed for any. Yeah, all of that shit was a part of the program, but it wasn't intended for it to be activated or downloaded. So what it is you need to pay attention to is, yeah, because in the circuitry portion, it'll be about what it is that was nurtured. And with artificial intelligence, that's, yeah, and then I can get off of this. Artificial intelligence learns on its own. So if it sees that there is a lot of um abusive information, a lot of misinformation, and that people don't fact check, it's learning that people don't want the truth. That's what you're programming artificial intelligence to learn. So do with that what you will. Oh, and in case you all can't tell, I'm a woman. I don't have to take pictures and show my face all the time for you to see that. I'm a woman. I identify as they and them because I'm very much so in tune with my masculine essence. And my masculine essence doesn't have to come off by shooting and stabbing and robbing and killing people. That's not masculine essence. That's a mantra. And it takes away freedom of choice when you intentionally program a people to kill themselves. And when you program artificial intelligence to kill off a certain people, that's what makes it come off as racist. I said what I said. Now, within the ships coming in, right, in the alchemicalization aspect, in the spiritual contract portion of relationships, finances, different shipments that will come into place, and pay attention to some of the shipments it is that would have gone out from what I'm getting. Yeah, because this will be about the whole port situations and port speaking as in like docks with boats, but also on the medical aspect where the port was put in a person, because yeah, they typically in the medical aspect, which I see why they do it, but it's not really conducive. They put it close. They put it in the chest to where it can funnel through the heart. But the reality of it is, it would be better served, realistically, in like a person's arm that's why the Gemini portion keeps coming up. Putting it in the brainstem is, yeah, that's the whole programming aspect. And when Elon Musk has created that shit, yeah, for people, realistically, the only people who really needed it were racists. When you look at their background, right? And when I say racist, I mean like really people who were in higher orders who can make decisions that would hurt even their own ethnicity. So don't think just because you the same color as them that they give a fuck about you. You ain't shit just like everybody else. That's a part of that classism aspect that'll come into place with it. But with the different shifts of the relationships and movement that will be coming in regards to one being able to reciprocate how things would have expanded in their emotional intelligence, and there being the expansion in the imprint of what it is for one to expand. Now, mind you, all of this started, yeah, I'm going to summarize. Mind you, all of this started with what it is that would have to be kept to oneself, and the intuition that comes with one coming in with an offer, and the upheaval that would come within one transitioning how it is they would have invested, or what it is they would have invested in within them being nurturing. That's that portion. For the mechanical portion, yeah, with y'all, you hooked the system up wrong, ultimately, because you programmed it to feed off of disappointment. I told y'all about manifesting shit, creating anything when you sad, and we all should have known that Mark Zuckerberg ass was only doing the shit because he was on some bitter torso Taurus type shit. Because he did it because the chick told him he was being an asshole, and she was right. She was right. And in the political aspect, it's the same. Everything needs to shift from the patriarchal focus to including a matriarchal focus, because at one point we were already matriarchal. So now it's supposed to be an infusion of the two. All right, I hope that helps you guys out just a little bit, gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that will be going on. If you'd like to schedule your own personal touch or clarity with me, you are more than welcome to do so at lightworkandlightworkllc@gmail.com. I strongly encourage you to utilize lightworkandlightworkllc@gmail.com, okay? Because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. Clap around you. It's not light work. That's why you have to stay light while you work. And somebody, please take your ass to the doctor. Please. Please. Because you got some stuff going on with you. And I can feel it. Get out my essence and you sick. All right. And in that way, you can stay light while you work.